then I was and then I was already in a bad mood because
you had to go see this play, a feminist play.
That wasn't it because it was a feminist play. The audience skewed very female.
Yes,
and so tried to go to the bathroom before the women. Because there's always usually a much longer line for the bathroom for women. The women had colonized.
So they're taking some creative liberties. Yeah.
The men's room. They had decided it was a gender neutral room, but there are still only 2 stalls.
Right.
So I have to wait online in the men's. But there were urinals, so I just had to pee.
Right.
But I can't just like whip. But now it's a small bathroom, so I can't whip my dick out in front of all these old ladies waiting in line because they've decided. Because I'm gonna. That seems gross.
I'm shy.
Because they had converted it, unbeknownst to me, into a gender neutral bathroom, rendered the urinals moot.
But is it those urinals that don't have stalls?
They didn't have stalls. They would. Okay. I mean, they wouldn't have seen it, but I would have been like. A few feet like turned, they would have heard me pee. It just seemed
there's visibility,
and
from
we're
the
at a feminist play, Brian. I can't be showing my schlong.
Yeah, the urinals are out of order that night
and
that afternoon. Yeah,
it's over. And this is reminded me of my real. This is my big brain tech solution. There, I solved the issue with the women's bathroom. And the reason the lines are so long.
What do you mean?
Okay,
I don't like when you lead.
Your mind is about to be blown.
When you
talk about business opportunities.
When you lead with this, you have to hit the target so right. Man. Okay,
by the end of this, you'll be like, is my podcast co-host a genius? Actually, this whole time, maybe I will be selling Poppy because of my idea. And again, I was proven right by the problem. Why do you think the line is so long at a women's bathroom relative to the men's room?
Dan, I don't want to indulge you in this. This is a cis-het man trying to provide. You're trying to mansplain.
I'm not trying to. You're literally I'm trying to find a solution. Man solve, Brian.
Why do I think it's so long? I don't know, because there are other activities beyond just going number 1, number 2.
Sure.
The clothing situation might be a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
Using the urinal itself is like, it's a grab and go.
It's fast. You have to wipe if you're the pee.
Right. Like if you're going into a stall, like that you're sitting down and dining,
more.
It just takes longer to sit down and dine at a fast casual restaurant than it does to like grab and go.
Common. This is what many people think.
Yeah.
Other common reasons people like you who don't really understand my genius.
By the way, if you're a woman and you're listening to this, I am apologizing in advance if I am so off base and if I'm missing things.
No. I surveyed this after I came up with my solution. I surveyed many women to determine.
Okay.
Another common.
So this is just like a family feud. Okay. What did survey say?
Yeah, that was also there's some subset of women who are using tampons, they have to deal with that.
That's what I meant beyond number 1, number 2, yeah.
Imagine a typical women's restroom. Let's say you have
Dan has a keynote presentation.
Yeah, let's say you have 3 stalls, right?
Okay.
3 stalls. And a men's room, the equivalent men's room, will have 2 stalls, 2 urinals. Okay?
Sure.
So if you have to pee, right, there's always a place directly where you can go pee, right? There's a urinal that's only for peeing. But in the women's room, okay, if you have to go pee, you can only use a stall. And so let's say you have 2 poopers, taking a long time. Most people just have to pee.
Oh, so you need designated stalls.
So you need a urinal-only stall. Okay, where women, where you're not allowed to poop, so that there's a constant flow of peers, and they're not backlogged, so to speak, by the poopers. Okay, and the poopers are monopolizing the space, and you just need 2 poopers to fuck it all up. You have this endless line because of the poopers.
But why does it matter though if it's designated or not?
Because peeing is faster than Because then.
But either way, you have to use the stall, so it's going to take as long as it needs to take.
No, because if you have a stall that says peeing only, okay, and there's and the hole is really, you make the hole really, really small so that people know you can't poop here. You're not allowed to poop. If you poop, you will clog it up.
What do you mean the holes?
You make a very tiny hole in the toilet.
Do you understand how anatomy works?
No. You make the toilet itself have a really small hole that you
I'm not even going to elaborate on. I'm just going to let you cook with this.
My other one is
come to their own
toilet
conclusions.
paper outside. You have it outside, so everyone sees you can only grab a few little pieces.
Dan, this is
I've thought about this.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a smell detector. Okay.
What do you, Dan,
if you are taking a poop, then the doors fling open, and you're like, we've caught you. You've pooped. I'm saying,
I don't endorse this at all.
If this was implemented,
this is horrible.
This would reduce the average speed in women's restrooms by like 30%. The issue I had in where all the women were lining up, they colonized the men's room.
But Dad,
I understand it's not fair; it's their anatomy. But this is a technological solution that I think will change lives.
Dan.
They're missing the first half of plays. Thinking about how many times, okay? Men never have to miss. We have urinals for peeing, and poor women, suffering women who just want to go pee, Brian.
I'm so sorry to the women who listen to this podcast.
Of every play.
I was really proud to say that we like the majority of our listenership is women, and after this episode,
yes,
it's gonna take a hit.
No, sure. Because the women know I've been thinking about them and
thought
their
about
problems.
this because you were mildly inconvenienced because there were some women who had a spill over into the men's room.
I was a woman for a day.
Dan,
I walked in their heels. I realized that my inconvenience is nothing. They've been going through this their whole lives on these longer lines. And no one's thinking about this. No one's talking about Doge isn't thinking about this.
Oh my God. But what about that? I mean,
I'm just saying, hear me out.
It goes both ways though. What if there's men who pee to sit down? A lot of the Scandinavian.
Okay, if you want to be
German
a little bitch, you can do that. You can do that. You just have to wait for the poopers to go. I'm just thinking about the peers.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to go for, but I just think if you need to go, you need to go, and you're going to take as long as you need to take.
Yeah.
So you're saying so you're saying like you should be punished if you need to poop.
I think so, a little bit.
Yeah. So if you need to poop, be an adult and figure that out before you come to a play.
Yes. You do not be pooping at the play.
You don't need to punish the hydrated honeys who are at the theater right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think, look, who's hurt? What's the harm? Put a little pee only sign. Try it out.
Look, I'm not gonna lead a seed round behind this idea.
Okay.
But if there's someone with a bigger dick than me who's investing, I might hop on.
People are always saying that there aren't enough, female-focused products in the VC space because they're so male. Here, this is a golden opportunity.
Jesus, with our audio issues, this is the most chaotic fucking episode. This is insanity, Dan. Oh my God.
Okay, that was Middlebrow.